What is anxiety? Understanding symptoms, causes, and healthy coping strategies. Have you ever had an important exam, job interview, presentation, or even a difficult conversation coming up, and suddenly noticed your heart beating faster? Maybe your palms became sweaty, your breathing felt quicker, your mind filled with what-if thoughts, and you found it difficult to focus on anything else. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Almost everyone experiences anxiety at some point in life. In fact, anxiety is one of the most common emotional experiences across all cultures and age groups. But here's something many people don't realize. Anxiety is not always a bad thing. In many situations, anxiety is actually helpful. It evolved to protect us from danger and prepare our bodies to respond to challenges. However, when anxiety becomes frequent, intense, or begins interfering with everyday life, it may become a mental health concern. So what exactly is anxiety? Why do we experience it? Why do some people seem calm under pressure, while others become overwhelmed? And how can we manage anxiety in healthy ways? Let's explore the science behind anxiety. What is anxiety? Anxiety is a natural emotional, cognitive, and physiological response to situations that we perceive as threatening, uncertain, or challenging. Notice the word perceive. This is important because our brain doesn't always respond to actual danger. Sometimes it responds to perceived danger. Imagine two students about to give the same presentation. One student thinks, "I'm nervous, but I can do this." The other thinks, "I'm going to embarrass myself." The situation is identical, but their thoughts are different. Those different thoughts influence how anxious each student feels. This illustrates an important psychological principle. It is often not the situation itself that creates anxiety, but how we interpret that situation. Why do humans experience anxiety? If anxiety feels unpleasant, why do we even have it? The answer lies in evolution. Thousands of years ago, our ancestors faced genuine dangers every day. Wild animals, natural disasters, dangerous environments. Those who reacted quickly to threats were more likely to survive. Over time, humans developed an alarm system that prepares the body for danger. Today, we rarely face predators. However, our brains still use the same survival system. Instead of running from wild animals, we may experience the same physical reactions before. Exams, public speaking, financial problems, medical appointments, social situations. Our brain often cannot distinguish between physical danger and psychological stress. Understanding the fight, flight, or freeze response. When your brain detects a possible threat, it activates the fight, flight, or freeze response. This is an automatic survival mechanism controlled by the nervous system. During this response, your heart beats faster, your breathing becomes quicker, your muscles become tense, your pupils dilate, your body releases stress hormones such as adrenaline and cortisol. These changes prepare you to either fight the danger, run away from it, or freeze until the danger passes. Imagine crossing the road when a car suddenly speeds toward you. Without thinking, you immediately jump back. That rapid response is your survival system working exactly as it should. The challenge is that this same system can activate during situations that are not physically dangerous, such as speaking in front of a class or waiting for exam results. Symptoms of anxiety. Anxiety affects the whole person, not just thoughts or emotions. Physical symptoms. You may notice a racing heartbeat, sweaty palms, trembling, muscle tension, shortness of breath, dry mouth, dizziness, nausea or stomach discomfort. These symptoms occur because the body is preparing for action. Emotional symptoms people often experience: fear, excessive worry, nervousness, irritability, feeling overwhelmed. Some people also describe a constant sense that something bad is going to happen. Cognitive symptoms. Anxiety also affects thinking. Examples include racing thoughts, difficulty concentrating, overthinking, catastrophizing. For example, a student who makes one mistake in an exam may immediately think, "I'm going to fail. I'll never graduate. My future is ruined." This pattern of imagining the worst possible outcome is known as catastrophizing. Behavioral symptoms. Behavior often changes too. Someone may avoid presentations, cancel social events, constantly seek reassurance, procrastinate, withdraw from activities they once enjoyed. Unfortunately, avoidance often provides temporary relief, but can maintain anxiety over time. Why do some people experience more anxiety? Psychologists often explain anxiety using the biopsychosocial model, which considers biological, psychological, and social influences. Biological factors. Some people inherit a greater vulnerability to anxiety. Brain chemistry, genetics, hormones, and nervous system sensitivity all play a role. Psychological factors. Certain thinking patterns increase anxiety. These include perfectionism, negative self-talk, fear of failure, low self-confidence, previous traumatic experiences, social and environmental factors. Life circumstances matter too. Stress at work, academic pressure, relationship difficulties, financial concerns, major life changes, lack of social support. Usually, anxiety develops through a combination of these factors, rather than one single cause. Healthy coping strategies. Although anxiety is normal, there are healthy ways to manage it. Slow breathing helps calm the nervous system by activating the body's relaxation response. Regular physical activity reduces stress hormones and improves mood. Good sleep supports emotional regulation and helps the brain recover from daily stress. Mindfulness encourages people to focus on the present moment instead of worrying about the future. Writing thoughts in a journal can help organize worries and identify patterns in thinking. Talking with trusted friends, family members, or qualified mental health professionals can also provide valuable support. It's important to remember that these strategies can help many people manage everyday anxiety, but they are not a replacement for professional treatment when anxiety is severe, persistent, or significantly affects daily functioning. Common myths about anxiety. Many misconceptions exist. One myth is that anxiety is a sign of weakness. In reality, anxiety is a normal human emotion and can affect anyone regardless of age, gender, or profession. Another myth is that people should simply stop worrying. If anxiety were that easy to control, many people wouldn't struggle with it. Anxiety involves complex interactions between the brain, thoughts, emotions, and life experiences. Finally, feeling anxious occasionally does not automatically mean someone has an anxiety disorder. Mental health professionals consider the intensity, duration, frequency, and impact of symptoms before making any diagnosis. When should someone seek professional help? Feeling anxious before important life events is completely normal. However, if anxiety persists for several weeks or months, frequently interferes with work, school, relationships, or daily activities, causes significant distress, or leads to avoiding important parts of life, it may be helpful to speak with a qualified mental health professional, such as a psychologist, psychiatrist, or counselor. Seeking support is not a sign of weakness. It is a positive step toward understanding and managing your mental well-being. Final thoughts. Anxiety is a natural part of being human. In many situations, it helps protect us, prepare for challenges, and respond to potential threats. At the same time, understanding how anxiety works from our body's survival response to the biological, psychological, and social factors that influence it can help us respond with greater awareness and compassion. At Psych Digest, Our goal is to make psychology simple, practical, and evidence-based. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing for more educational content exploring psychology, human behavior, mental health, and the science behind everyday experiences. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next Psych Digest video.